it's actually part of a larger story that predates Calgary and predates, man, I mean, it literally started for me in grade 5, maybe, because I became involved in my area. There was a kind of New West. It was different, but the idea of it was a family of choirs, and they had adult choirs, and they had a youth choir and a young adult choir, and they had a kids choir, and I got involved, I think when I was in grade 5 in the kids choir, maybe even grade 4, and I loved it. Like, it was so much fun. We did, like, you know, concerts, and we did little musicals and stuff, and so it was a huge part of my life, and I grew up, and I eventually went into the youth choir, and eventually into the young adult choir, and like, it was a major part of my musical journey. It was a major part of my faith journey. It was my youth group. I was in this very small church, and we had a very small youth group. So this youth choir that I was a part of was you know, a bunch of people from all kinds of different churches. So it totally expanded my understanding of church and denominations and different approaches to worship and so many things. And it was huge for me, and became my friend group in a lot of ways. Like, yeah, it was a very important part of my life. So anyway, all that to say that it's kind of always been in my head to try and recreate that, and because it was such an important part of my life. I thought, man, I'm so thankful for his name was Bill Womer, was the guy that kind of, you know, started it and everything, and I'd kind of like to be, you know, a Bill Womer to somebody, right? Like, I'd like to give that opportunity to other students. So all that to say that New West then kind of, you know, so I had there was this one stream that was always kind of running in the back of my mind, that in time, in some way, somehow, I'd like to do something like this. And then New West came along, and I realized, man, I feel like these two streams could actually really come together, and maybe this is the family of, maybe this is the choir family that this youth choir could be a part of. So
that's cool.
It just made it makes all kinds of sense to me. You've got this amazing infrastructure. You've got this you've got all this equipment that New West has generated, and you've got all this goodwill and all of this this whole network of support and friends of New West, and there's just a lot there, and I feel like we can now steward that even better. We can use those resources even more, and do more with what New West already has.